this is Joy Abioye, and thank you for tuning in. So today I'm going to be talking about something really important. And if you have a loved one graduating from Air Force Basic Military BMT, San Antonio, Texas, this information is for you because you might not get it anywhere. I searched online and I didn't get it, so that's why I'm putting it out here for everybody graduating soon or everybody trying to go into the Air Force basic military training, or if you're expecting a loved one to graduate soon, you need information. You need to be here. You can send it to any of your friends that you know is in this category. They need to hear this. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Welcome back. So this opinion I'm trying to put out here is based on my family's experience when they were coming for my graduation, and also based on my own personal experience when I was going for a loved one's graduation. So please, this is my opinion and not the effort's opinion. Okay, so if you're expecting a loved one to graduate the basic military training at San Antonio, Texas, congratulations. And I'm so happy for you because it's a big deal and it's a very good thing. And you can't expect a loved one to be there for 7 weeks and you miss their graduation. No, hell no. You don't want to do that. And you can't expect a loved one to be there for 7 weeks. You've not seen them for 7 weeks and you go there late. No, you don't want to do that. Also, you don't expect a loved one to go through all the stress of the training, the rigorous training of BMT, and you go there, you miss one of the ceremony, like the MS run or the coin ceremony. No, you don't want to do that because it almost happened to me. That's why I'm putting out this video. You don't want to do that. So just listen attentively to the point that will not make you miss anything, because trust me guys, it's so very important. It's really really important. And to the airman that you are going to visit, it's important to them. So you don't want them to cry after going through that rigorous training, and they think you are the airman's run and you are not there.
My God, I cannot believe it. That is shocking and devastating.
So just don't go anywhere. This is so emotional to me and it's so important. So you need this information. Don't go anywhere. So let's talk about planning your journey. The first thing is to plan, and you need to plan ahead of time. You don't joke with planning. Plan ahead of time because you can't delay the airman graduating. No, and there's some consequences that come with delay. So the first thing you need to do is to book your flight. The second thing you need to do is to book your Airbnb or your hotel. The third thing you need to do is to book your rental car. So I'm going to break it down for you. The first thing, if you're going to receive a letter from the base telling you congratulations, your loved one is going to graduate on this date. So what do? The moment you see that, it is a signal for you to start planning, because they send it few weeks before the graduation. I think they send it after the last PT test, and that shows that you're graduating. So when you get that, start planning ahead. The next thing you do is to book your flight. So, for example, if the BMT graduation is on the 9th, what is the time you book? You book immediately and you make sure you arrive on the 8th. And even your arrival should not be late. When you're booking your flight, you make sure you book arrival to be like early hours of the day, because you don't want to book in the evening. What happens if your flight gets cancelled? What happens to the airman expecting you? What happens to the airman thinking you are right there, watching them and cheering them up, and later they discover you are not there? So the first thing you do, book your flight arrival date a day before and should be early. So you're on ground, you know where you want to be, you can even walk around, and at least even if the airman is not seeing you, they have that faith and joy that their loved one is around just outside the gate waiting to see them. Then also the next thing you do is to book your Airbnb or your hotel. Now, if you're going to book your Airbnb or your hotel, you need to book very close to the base, very close to Antonio, Texas base, the Air Force base, the military base. Because honestly, if even if you book like 5 minutes away, by the time you are returning back from when you are returning back the Airman from their time pass, 5 minutes might look like 2 hours because it's a lot of traffic and there's a lot of people graduating. Like 1,000 people might be graduating, 900 or 800. The list might be 700. Imagine an airman having like 5 to 10 people coming on for their graduation. They're going to need where to stay. They're going to need a lot of things. So there's a lot of traffic. And when the time pass is over, the airman needs to be in the dormitory. And they don't appreciate lateness. They can't even be late. But the airman is even going to say, I want to go because you know what you're going to face if you go in late. That one might even lead to like they pull you back. You don't graduate. You don't leave on time. So Emma wants to go. And honestly, if you're going to book an hotel, there are hotels very close to the base, but you might not get it if you're booking late. So you need to book ahead of time. If you book immediately, like the moment you book your flight, you book your Airbnb or your hotel too. After the time pass, the airman can go in, and even the price again, if you book early you get discounted price, but if you are booking at the late hour it goes up. And you know, as a business owner, they might want, they know you need to book this, so the price is going to go up. So you need to book ahead of time to get a convenient place and a comfortable place for you to stay in. And you, that time you even have the opportunity to choose, like, oh, I don't want this one, I want to take this place, I don't like this environment, I want to go here. And you are able to book very close to the base. Because after time pass, let me tell you something, you might even be in front of the gate. After town pass, you might be in front of the gate, the airman is going back, you are right at the gate, but you might be stuck there for like 30 minutes because they do all sorts of checking, they have to check you in. And imagine like 1,000 airmen with their families, some of them might have like 2 to 3 cars, they're trying to drop them off, and they're going in, the traffic is high. So you might be right there on the spot, and you are there for 30 minutes, you can't even go in. You are seeing the gate, but you can't go in. And one thing again, the airman cannot go in late. So it's just chaos at the gate. You want to go in, you can't run, there's nothing you can do at that point. So that is very important. Also, the third thing I'm going to be talking about is the rental car. If you're not driving down, you need a rental car. And it's better if you book ahead of time, just as I'm saying, book ahead of time. That is the most important thing in this your journey. Because if you don't book ahead of time, you don't get the opportunity to get even the kind of car you want. The price also might be high. And when you book ahead of time, you are able to choose the kind of car you want and all that. And also for booking of rental car, they don't appreciate the debit card, they always appreciate credit card. And even if they're going to take debit card, it uses it comes with a lot of conditions, terms and conditions, and you might not be able to fulfill that condition at that particular time if you're booking that same day. So if you book ahead of time, you're able to meet, if you want to use your credit card or your debit card, you're able to meet the condition and you're good to go. So put this in consideration and the journey will be so sweet for you. So let's talk about the main reason why you're even going to San Antonio, Texas. It's because of graduation, right? Okay. And this graduation is in two, let's say in 2 days. The first day is the Airman's run and the coin ceremony. Then the second day is the parade. That's like the actual graduation. And what happens on this on the first day? The Airman's run is at 7:30. but at the PRC, that's where the event happens. The PRC is opened at 6:30. But for you, as a family of an airman, what time are you expected to be there? 5:30 or 5 o'clock? Because let me tell you something, there's a lot of traffic. And at the military, they don't waste time. They give you the information they want to give you so brief and so fast. So, and the place is a very large place. How do you know your way if you don't go early? So that's why it's very important. If you get in at 5, if you get in at 5, you can locate your area, locate where to go. Anyway, along ways, you have airman positioned at different places, not airman right now, trainees positioned at different places. They're able to lead you, direct you to the PRC. But if you don't get there early, how do you know? How do you see them? So if you get there at 5, you wiggle your way, then you're able to locate the PRC. And because at 6:30 in the morning, they start giving you information, orientation, different briefing of what was going to go around all through the day and not through the ceremony of the day. So they tell you what you can do, what you cannot do, where you can go, where you don't go. And by 7:30, it's time for the airman's run. Then one thing important again, when you run your loved ones, you try to know their flight, the flight number and their squadron, the squadron they are. So because different squadron wears different color of hoodie. So if you know the squadron where your airman is, you know the color you're waiting for, and you know the color you're rooting for. So because you don't get to talk to your loved ones when they are running, so they will just run all around the PLC, the event center. We run, but you don't actually. But you are so eager to see your loved ones, so you might see them there. But even the airmen are instructed not to wave, not just comport yourself. So you just root for them, and they're so happy because you call their name, they hear their name, they're like, okay, someone is rooting for me. But even though they can't smile back or they can't wave back, but they're so happy that my family member is here rooting for me. So by the time you do that, when the airman's run is done by 7, you can't even. So the airman graduating, they go back to their their squadron, then they get ready for the coin ceremony. And by that time, they give you another orientation, then you try to get breakfast or something around, then you plan and you're seated for the coin ceremony. So now we have the coin ceremony. It happens around 9:30. So everyone is seated. Then the airmen are going to march down from their squadron. It's a large number, so they keep marching according to their squadron number and their flight number. So it's always very, very interesting. We march down from the squadron down to the PRC, and this is where we exercise our marching skill. And it's so very, very colorful, and you're so very, very happy as a family member because you've not seen your loved one for 7 weeks, and you're seeing them do something beautiful as this. You just you're screaming and you're so happy, and they don't hold you back because they know it's something of joy. And even the airmen are so emotional because they're going to see their loved one and they're going to get tapped up by their loved one, so they're always very happy. And for every anyway, there's this composure they have to maintain. And this coin ceremony also for airmen that are getting their citizenship, that is when it happens. That is, so if you have a loved one getting their citizenship that day, the naturalization, so you expect to hear their names too, and they are granted they take the oath, and that's it. Then after that, when they declare that the ceremony is over, then they tell the families that okay, you can tap your airman out. That is when they dismiss the ceremony. All airmen are parade dressed, and their family comes to tap them. It's a very, very colorful ceremony that and very emotional. That's when you see a lot of Emma crying, and even some family members, instead of them to tap their Emma, someone that's waiting for 7 weeks, they're there in their face, smiling and laughing. But anyway, it's a thing of joy, and at last everyone is happy and crying, tears of joy anyway, and it's a beautiful thing. So it's after the tapping out, Airman are able to go for town pass. So they go out for town pass. And one thing important again is that when you're planning your journey, take your phone out, look up places where you can go with your family members. Check out if you are African like me, you can check out a lot of places where you can get delicious African cuisine, and they are so good in at San Antonio. I didn't even know they had like good food for Africans there. You get because Airman needs to eat. So take them out to eat and enjoy. So and they don't have a phone to check out where we can eat. So you as a family member, you've been there overnight. Check out these places. Even book food. Let them eat. They need to eat. Man is starving. They need to eat. It's a thing of joy. So let them eat. So you check out places. Any ethnicity, they have different cuisine. Anywhere they have food. And after a man is done eating, please take them out. There are different places in San Antonio, Texas, the downtown, different places where you can see a lot of things. And even if you have kids too, there are different places you can take your kids to enjoy their state too, and you can take good pictures. They have like a very good community there where you and a good place where you can take pictures and enjoy your stay. So now we go to the second day. The second day is the actual parade where airmen. So on the first day, the airmen are being tapped out in their OCP. But on the second day, that is when they are all geared up in the uniform, looking all so sweet. Even though it's hot there, you still have to put in your uniform and look so good, and we match in the uniform. And it's so that we wear a ceremonial wear, and it's so beautiful. So we and mark you, they give you orientation because it's a different place. The parade ground is different from PRC where you do your coin ceremony. So you will move MR march from their squadron from the PR to the PRC, from the PRC down to the parade ground. And when we are marching, you need to see them. It's so beautiful, very, very beautiful. So you march down there and we line up according to our flight and squadron. And that day, that is when we take the oaths. And when we take the oaths to become a great airman and all that, when we take the oath, then it's not always very, very long. The parade ceremony is not a very long ceremony. It's so brief, and when you take the oath, then again your family member are able to tap you out. So imagine your family member missed the first day, they were not able to tap you out. At least they have the opportunity to tap you out the second day, and it is usually very colorful and beautiful. So they get to tap you out, and also you go out for town pass. And mark you this day on the town pass for the parade day is shorter than the one for coin ceremony. So you have to get in very early on the second parade day. So you need to be in as soon as possible, and you don't want to come in late. So hurry up and don't be late, man. Okay, so I'm going to be wrapping up with this. So the essential things you need to bring to the graduation ceremony. Number one, if you are younger than 18, you don't need an ID. But if you are 18 and above, you need an ID, driver's license, or CAC. Your CAC is a military ID given to you from that you have. Maybe you're a spouse or a family member in the military. You need to bring your CAC, and that one is easier. So and also you are being sent alongside your invitation letter. They send you an invitation, a pass to come inside for the graduation. So you need to bring that along with you. Make copies because if it's missing, you can't get on base. And even if you eventually get on base with your ID card, you need to go to the visitor center to get your pass. So you need the pass to come in. And you don't want the airman to be waiting for you because you won't be able to communicate with the airman. So you are just on your own. So make sure you articulate your point together, get everything you need. Also, you need cameras to take pictures, to make videos of your airman because you don't really want to miss the the ceremony, and you always want to remember because it's a reference for the ceremony. So you need to bring a camera, make sure you're taking pictures, make sure you're doing videos of them, and trust me guys, when you go back and you watch it, you will love it. So don't go anywhere, stay with us, subscribe, share this video to someone expecting a loved one to graduate from BMT soon. And for you, if you're going for your BMT training, don't go without watching this video because it's going to be beneficial for you, and you can share with your family members before you leave. And also, you know what you're expecting on your graduation day. Thank you for seeing with me, guys. I love you. Mwah.